So today we'll be working on some beginner basic tongs. I'm gonna be starting with a piece of 9-inch long, 3/8 by 1. And we're gonna be making a tong style, which I refer to as a twist bit tongs. We're gonna make an isolation for the tong bit, and that'll be twisted, so it'll be in line. The first thing I'm gonna do is mark off 1 inch. So I'll grab a speed square and a center punch. Mark off 1 inch for my tong bit. Now there's also another way you can do this, which I'll kind of show a little bit later on. Instead of marking off 1 inch on your tongs, once you take the heat, you can find a place on your anvil that has the measurement that you want. You can set it in. You can mark that out as you hammer. So I've made an isolation here now. The next thing I'm gonna do, right at the peak of this triangle, I'm gonna hang that over just a tiny little bit over the edge of the anvil. I'm gonna make a second isolation. That's gonna be the isolated material for the boss, for the hinge plate, and the bit. The rest of this material is gonna get drawn out into the rings. Break down all this material and draw it out in the rings. So I have my tongs, mostly, the reins here mostly to dimension. There's still thicker material up here by the boss. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quench the reins off, and I'm gonna start defining this shape. I'll punch the hole, and then I'll move on to the second half. Reason for that is, I wanna be able to match the length from the punched hole to the ends of the tong reins on the second half to this one. So find the center of the boss and just punch the hole. Taking the punch out every little bit to give it a chance to cool down a little bit. I felt it bottom out. You can kind of see a shiny circle here. And that's how I know where my rivet is, or my hole. I'll find the center of that shiny circle, give it 1 tap, see how it sets into that, make sure I'm centered up again, and drive the slug through. And there's the slug. I'm gonna work the punch through a little bit. I wanna make a hole for 3/8 rivet. I'll come to the horn, I'll start working that little point down into the boss. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna come through with the tong reins at a 45, and we're gonna just knock all the edges off.
knock off any of the sharp edges that are left. It just kind of gives it a cleaner, smoother look.
All right, so I'm gonna put this bevel towards me, clamp it in just right below that notch, take a pair of tongs, grab right below the rivet, and then twist towards me, because we want that bevel on the outside. There we have the twist. Now I'm gonna jump back over the anvil, come to the far side, put that right there, just start hammering this twist back into itself a little bit. Far side, hammer it back to the center, near side, far side, so on and so forth. And now we have a nice 90-degree bit. I've dropped the bosses down a little bit, and then I quick ran over to the vise and just flattened out the bosses so they'll fit together and articulate nicely. The next thing I'm gonna do is grab a piece of 3/8 round bar, and I'll make my rivet out of that. Kind of mark it off and finish cutting through. So when I set the rivet, I basically just line this up in the middle, just kind of give this a tap, and slowly set the rivet by setting on both sides. I'll flip it over, just kind of make sure I keep this even, as even as I can. This takes a little bit of getting used to. If you want, you can make a monkey tool, upset the rivet in the monkey tool. I prefer doing it this way because it's faster. You can see I have a big honking gap between the bits. Kind of tap these together just a little bit. I'm planning on making these for slightly larger material. Grab a piece of 1-inch square. Set that in the jaws. Do this a lot, especially when you're first starting out. Really hard to forge the reins to the same length. I could heat up this rein and forge it out. The easiest way is to take this over the vise and just hacksaw that end off and then file it around. Set this just below where that notch is. Grab a pair of tongs and twist toward the notch. That's wrong. Twist away from the notch. My bad. Well, that completely didn't work. Just totally sheared the bit off. I guess that's what happens if you twist the wrong way and you're holding too close to your notch. Never had that happen before.